More on this, we're joined by Steve Keen. He's a visiting scholar at the University of Amsterdam. Welcome back to the programme, Steve. Now, President Macron promised an industrial renaissance, but companies are restructuring instead. Has this economic reform agenda officially hit a wall?
Yes, and the wall is called the euro. This is all due to the ridiculous rules that has governed Europe ever since the euro was introduced, the so-called Growth and Stability Pact. Like most things in politics, the meaning is the actual opposite. It's been the Stagnation and Instability Pact. That's what's causing all the problems, and that's why the country is not investing.
Right, and with growth forecast at a meagre 0.8%, will Paris be able to tackle its mounting debt pile without triggering an austerity crisis?
Yes, it will if it gets rid of the stupid rules of the euro. The entire reason for the debt crisis is the rules that of the Maastricht Treaty that restrict governments to having no more than 60% of GDP as their debt level, which when the euro started, only one country achieved, and trying to reduce deficits to 3% of GDP. Now, that is what has been the general cause of stagnation in Europe ever since the beginning of the euro, because there is absolutely no reason to confine the government's deficit to the levels of the so-called Growth and Stability Pact, and for that reason, the best way to solve the crisis would be to get rid of the Growth and Stability Pact, and then have the French central bank buy the outstanding bonds from the French Treasury, and that would eliminate the debt crisis. That can't be done because of the rules of the Maastricht Treaty, but that is entirely the reason for France's paralysis and indeed the rest of the euro.
And as we just heard in our report, the glass sector is the latest casualty of foreign competition. Are we now seeing the slow motion deindustrialization of the French manufacturing base?
Yes, you are, and there's all sorts of reasons for that, of course. But the main thing is that the growth of China. Of course, China's exports are the main ones that are undermining industries everywhere elsewhere in the world. And just to make my point about the euro and the Maastricht Treaty rules being the reason for this paralysis, the average deficit that China has run for the last 5 years is 9.5% of GDP. That is 3 times the Maastricht level. Now, they haven't had an inflation as a result. They haven't. What they've had is growth. And the reason is that money's been invested in infrastructure development in China. Corporations have similarly invested in industrial development. And for that reason, China has grown while Europe has stagnated.
Right, and we're also seeing Chinese competition hit European car makers. Will Europe be able to come back from this?
I don't think so. I think it's had it. 25 years of following bad rules puts you a generation behind countries that don't follow those same bad rules. Now, most of the rest of the world's been making the same mistakes as France, not in something as formal as a treaty, but the same obsession with reducing government debt, when government debt could actually be eliminated by the government buying its own debt. That no other organisation can do that. Now, with that paralysis, the rest of the world has stood still for 25 years. China has advanced for 25 years. The scale they've reached, I don't think any country in the West is going to be able to catch up.
Steve Keen in Amsterdam, thank you very much for your insights.